In the last video we discussed about productivity. So what is primary production and what are the values for what is productivity? Actually the rate of biomass production is productivity, then the gross primary productivity and the net primary productivity. So all these, how to find out net primary productivity. So these are the details which we discussed earlier in the previous video. So now we are going to discuss about decomposition. So after productivity we have learned the components of the ecosystem as decomposition. So we know what actually earthworm is, and they are commonly called as the farmer's friend. So we know that the earthworm is commonly called the farmer's friend. So this what does this earthworm do in the land, or what is the usage, for what reason it is called as farmer's friend? Because the earthworm breaks down the organic matter and it loosens the soil. So the complex organic matter is broken down by this earthworm, and the loosening of the soil also occurs here. So when we take about decomposers, here the conversion of organic into inorganic. So when the organic is turned over or converted into inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water and nutrients, so this process we call it as decomposition. So the conversion of organic matter to inorganic matters like carbon dioxide, water and nutrients, we call it as decomposition. So we know what are the dead plant remains. So what are the dead plant remains of the plant? We know that is the leaves, bark, flowers, and also the animal remains like fecal matter. So including the fecal matter, that is the dead animal and the fecal matter of an animal. So these are called as dead waste, that is the raw material for decomposition. So the dead matters or the dead remains of plants and animals are the raw materials for decomposition. So the important steps of decompositions. So we will discuss about the steps which are most important for the decomposition process. The first one is fragmentation. So the next one is leaching, catabolism, humification, and the last one is mineralization. So the important steps are fragmentation, leaching, catabolism, humification and mineralization. So when we discuss about fragmentation, so what actually fragmentation is? So here it is mentioned that the detritivores, so these detritivores are nothing but like earthworms. So earthworms are called as detritivores. So these break down the detritus into small particles. So the detritus is broken down, or it is made into smaller particles. So this process is called as fragmentation. So the next one is leaching. So what leaching is? So here the water soluble inorganic substances, they go down into the soil horizon and they get precipitated as unavailable salts. So the inorganic nutrients, that is which are soluble in water, get down into the horizon. So it goes down into the soil horizon and they get precipitated as unavailable salts. So this process is called as leaching. So the next process is, so before getting into the next process, the bacterial and fungal enzymes degrade the detritus into simple inorganic substances. So the decomposition of the degradation of the detritus by the bacteria and fungal enzymes into simpler or inorganic substances called as catabolism. So this is the next process, catabolism. So the bacterial and fungal enzymes degrade the detritus into simpler inorganic substances. So when we take the humification and mineralization, here the only thing is they occurs only during the decomposition in the soil. So the decomposition operates simultaneously on the detritus. So here the humification and the mineralization occurs during when the process of decomposition in the soil occurs, the humification and mineralization occurs. So the humification. So humification leads to the accumulation of a dark colored amorphous substance. So the accumulation of humus, that is, which the humus is nothing but a dark colored amorphous substance. So this accumulation is done in the process of humification. So when we take humus, it is highly resistant to microbial actions and it undergoes decomposition at a very slow rate. So what are the characteristics of humus? It is highly resistant to microbial actions and it undergoes decomposition at extremely slow rate. So the decomposition process takes place at a slow rate. So this is called this humus is actually colloidal in nature, so that they they act as a reservoir of nutrients. So they act as a reservoir of nutrients. So these humus are the reservoir of nutrients because they are colloidal in nature. So they are degraded by some microbes. So microbes are degraded here. So this humus is further degraded and the release of inorganic nutrients occur by the process of mineralization. This clearly shows us that the mineralization and humification occurs during the process of decomposition. So after the humus, that is after the accumulation of a dark substance called humus in the process of humification, then this humus is further degraded by the microbes and they are and the release of inorganic nutrients occur. So this release of inorganic nutrients occur by the process called as mineralization. So we know that the decomposition is always an oxygen requiring process. So oxygen is needed for the process of decomposition. So the rate of decomposition is controlled by the chemical composition of the detritus and the climatic factors. So the climatic factors and the chemical decomposition of the detritus controls the rate of decomposition, that is the oxygen requiring process. So now when we see that we already know that the warm and moist environment which favors decomposition. So whereas when we discuss about so we'll see it further, but before that there is a rate change in, that is there is an alteration in the temperature decomposition rate. If the detritus which is rich in lignin and chitin, then the decomposition rate will be slower. If the detritus is rich in water soluble substances like sugar, so which are soluble in water, so and nitrogen, then the decomposition rate will be faster. So the decomposition rate will be fast if the detritus is rich in water soluble substances like sugar and nitrogen, but the decomposition rate will be slow if the detritus is rich in lignin and chitin. So temperature and moisture, so these are the most important climatic factors that regulate the decomposition. So this decomposition has to be regulated by giving out some effects on the activities of the microbe. So on the activities of a microbe, there will be some effects by these climatic factors. So this through their effects on the activities of microbes, it regulates the decomposition. So the warm and moist environment, both the warm and moist environment favors decomposition, whereas when we discuss about low, that is when the temperature is low, so when the temperature is low and if it is anaerobiosis, that is if it is an anaerobiosis, then here the decomposition will be inhibited. So this low temperature and anaerobiosis inhibits decomposition, which results in the building up of an organic material. So the organic materials are built here when the climatic factors are with low temperature and aerobiosis, that is automatically the decomposition becomes inhibited, whereas in the warm environment and moist environment the decomposition is favored. So the next video will deal with the topic energy flow. Thank you.